What is up, what is up, FSClub? Welcome back to the channel, welcome to FS Daily News, FarmCon edition. If you guys are wondering what was FarmCon, well, FarmCon was pretty much the E3 for Farming Simulator. This FarmCon, we learned a lot of news on Farming Simulator 22, and that's what this video is going to be about. This is going to be an FS Daily News FarmCon edition. But before we get into that, guys, make sure you guys put in the comment section below, hashtag FS Daily News. Let's try for 400 likes on this video. If we have 400 likes, guys, in tonight's live stream, I will give away 100,000 at the very beginning. Roll it intro. Let's go.
Putting on the greatest show, so make sure that you don't miss out. Just be there. We're taking our shot. Know what you got. We're going all the way.
Welcome back. Okay, guys, we have a lot of stuff to go over. The first thing is probably we should highlight right here. Slot count on consoles. Right now they have not released any information about it, like how much slots is going to be on FS22, the slot usage or anything like that, but they did explain why there is a slot count and how it works. I'm gonna let them take it away. Here we go.
By the way, slot count still a thing in consoles.
Still a thing, yeah.
We can say that, I think. Slot count. So in order for you guys, and this is a little bit off the grid now, but to understand why slots are a thing, consoles have a limited performance, of course. You know,
Yeah.
there is a point where you are going too far, where the performance would just die, and that's why we do have slots. Of course, with newer,
You won't be happy. Continue playing. Trust us.
we tried. At least he tried. I didn't. I just trust on QA.
It
when they
ain't
tried.
pretty.
No, it ain't pretty. The thing is, with consoles, we know exactly where this limitation is. With a PC, you can't, because everyone builds their own PCs.
Yeah.
You don't know where the limitation is. With consoles, you know exactly where this limitation is. People usually turn around and go like, oh, PCs don't have slots. They do. It's just not a slot count because we can't count it. But
Yeah.
if you put everything on PC, your frames drop to 1, it drops to minutes per frame and not frames per second anymore, and the whole game crashes and everything. It's the same thing. It's basically you just finished your slot count just without a slot count on PC. So you need to understand that slots have to be there. It's just an indicator of where the limit of your console is. It's
Yeah,
not,
where you are currently in the space,
exactly.
basically.
It's not us limiting what you can do in the game. It's just saying this is the end. Your RAM is full if you do that. It's over. All right? Good.
Okay, so that right there was basically everything on slots, on why slots are on consoles and how it works. A good explanation right there. Okay, now some more Farming Simulator 22 news. The first one though is Truck Stop Radio. They are happy to announce that they have been selected to be one of the simulation radios to join the adventure in Farming Simulator 22. So that is amazing right there. I believe they are on PC, but they have been in talks with Xbox for 3 to 4 months. So that would be something big on consoles. I mean, I don't really listen to music or any of the radio stuff because of copyright, but I know other people do, so that'd be very exciting. After that, let's take a look at the new UI for Farming Simulator 22. Here it is right here. Note the gearbox HUD on the far right. As you guys can tell, also different colors. I think it looks a lot better. And the OpenAI menu 2 option in the F1 menu. And of course, they're using a PlayStation controller. They should have used an Xbox. But there is no news about the OpenAI working menu. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. What do you guys think that could mean? Okay, now let's talk about some new brands that's going to be coming to Farming Simulator 22. Another one has been announced. Linny is confirmed for Farming Simulator 22. Another one, Nokia Ground King Tires, has been confirmed for Farming Simulator 22. And also a new silo, Meridian branded silos in Farming Simulator 22. Also, it also says, as you guys can see under there, silos are used to store crops. You also need an auger for the silo. Does this mean that they're bringing augers actually to console players? That would be something huge. That's something I've been really wanting. The only thing that would probably make that even more better is if actually you can only store one crop in them. I mean, it does say, what, 960,000 liters? Maybe that's just 960,000 liters of just one crop. That would be huge right there. Yeah, also something else completely new, which I think this is amazing right here. New build mode with a new streamlined UI. So no more landscaping mode, guys. There is a build mode. Fences are now also dragged to the desired length and will contour to the terrain. No more half-sunken fences. So basically, you're gonna have your buildings, your landscaping, all of that in one place. Also, you're gonna be using the build mode to place down your vineyards for grapes and olives and all that. We'll get to those new crops in a minute. Also, Giants have also released like 5 new blogs about Farming Simulator 22, which I will leave those blogs in the description, so if you guys want to take a look at it, but I will be going over it right quick. But the first one is gameplay. Let's see, on this one, improved foliage and dynamic wind reactions on crops. So you actually go see the crops swaying in the wind. Parallax occlusion mapping effects on the ground texture, which that should definitely help out with performance issues. New brand Continental. New feature automatic header tilt and height control. New feature manual gear shifting. Improved animation and sounds. New ground textures for various ground working tools and their effects on the gameplay. Of course, they also talked about the Class Zerion saddle tray, which will be coming with pre-orders. A new cowshed by Randolph Horman, and improved slurry application. Also, if you guys are interested in getting Farming Simulator 22, pre-ordering it for PC, I have the club's affiliate link in the description. Make sure you guys do check that out. Costs the same price, it just helps out the club a little bit. Okay, so the next blog to talk about is seasons for Farming Simulator 22. You're gonna be seeing a lot of visual changes throughout the seasons with FS22. So right here, they have updated the general game graphics too. They're still working on this, so you'll notice more detail here and there. Reflections on water, for example. Whether you look at a season-specific aesthetics or not, nature looks more natural. Since each season comes with its own characteristics, the atmosphere changes quite a bit throughout the year. In spring, of course, trees are going to be growing with vibrant colors. They mature into lush green trees in summer, and then of course, in autumn, that brown color. Just hoping that with autumn, the grass turns that brown color like I've seen on a few maps. If not, I'm pretty sure a lot of modders are going to be adding that in. The one bad thing about seasons though that I've seen that everybody's been complaining about, even me a little bit, seasons is going to be locked on 3 days. They say that they're looking into it, maybe changing it, or maybe that a modder can actually change it. I'm just hoping that they do. I think at least 6 days would be perfect. But anyways, you can also turn seasonal gameplay on or off, so you don't have to play with seasons. By implementing season cycles, they add a new level of gameplay to Farming Simulator 22. It's not just a visual thing, unless you want it to be. In this case, you can deactivate seasonal growth, so you plant and harvest your crops independently of the season. So basically, it's just going to be visual and that's it. And yes, you can also turn off snow if you don't want to do any snow. And yes, the crop calendar is going to be in FS22. The calendar provides an important overview and tells you when you have to plant your crops and also when you have to harvest it. So grapes and olives will be planted March to June, and then harvesting for grapes will take in September and all that. So also keep in mind that demand for your crops and therefore the selling prices change throughout the year, pretty much just like seasons is for FS19, and 17. To get the best prices, you have to store your harvested crops and sell them when the demand is high due to the season. See, I'm wondering though, is that going to be for productions too? You create the productions, like flour or cereal or stuff like that. Will the demand go up and down for that? And of course, with seasons, with this seasons, basically, in wintertime, usually with FS19 right now, there's not really much to do, mainly tend to your animals and snowplow, but that's about it. But Farming Simulator 22 with production is going to give another aspect to basically winter. You're basically going to be doing, your animals, snowplowing, but you also could do productions in the wintertime. Okay, now let's talk about the new map, Elm Creek. This is the US map that's coming to Farming Simulator 22, and they said, what is it different from Ravenport? Probably a lot different. The most obvious difference compared to Ravenport, the US map, and Farming Simulator 19, the flat landscape has no coastline. Instead, Elm Creek has a hidden canyon with a cave, which contains big rocks embedded seamlessly into the landscape. In the flat area, you also notice slight increase and decrease in elevation. So you can drive under our railroad line, which goes straight through the land, which is its underpass, and also you can drive over it when you come across the railroad bridge or some various other bridges on the map that go above rivers and streams. So I've even seen dip down and show kind of like a little bit creek. You drive through the creek. I've seen, of course, they have a big old interstate on it. I've also been hearing a lot of complaints about this map, from a few people that's saying, it's too wide open, that it's too blank and all that stuff, but that's kind of what the Midwest is. We have a lot of farmland and then, a few areas that has stuff, like a gas station or campgrounds and stuff like that. Ours isn't all compacted in the Midwest. But anyways, they said, what else is there to discover? The focus of Elm Creek is the vast areas of farmland. It's basically a large industrial area with some residential areas and businesses. There's also a gas station on the map, very small businesses, residential areas, even a baseball stadium and a bowling center. But also, if you pay close attention, there are some spots to discover that are even special to the seasonal cycles in the game. When they actually showed the video of FarmCon, they actually showed, I believe it was like a diner or something like that, and they actually had a table, right? And in the winter, it was actually, the tables were covered. But then as soon as, it got into spring and summer, the tables were uncovered, the chairs were back out and everything. It looks amazing. Okay, now how does the farm layout look? They decided to place the farm in the middle of the map. kind of like, you know, Stone Valley, so that players can spread out to all sides and all possibilities to create their own unique farm. To do this, they reduced the number of additional decorative buildings in the farm area and decided to make the buildings open and accessible, so everything should be able to open. I remember that in Ravenport, like, you know, we were so happy about, you know, that barn or whatever. We went there and guess what? It didn't open at all. It was just a decoration. I did not like that about FS19. This way you have also more space to own your own buildings without those that you need to getting in your way. So it's also going to have a little bit more area to, you know, place down, you know, if you want to put down production buildings or new sheds, barns, those new silos I was just talking about. Both the garage and barn interiors feature multiple levels. So we're actually having a place, you know, to maybe store our bales and stuff. And then, you know, the bottom area to store something else, maybe some pallets. You can drive into the building and store your vehicles there. The barn can also be used as storage room for pallets, big bags, or other items you need for farm operations. So you guys see right there, they said big bags. So it looks like big bags are going to be coming to Farming Simulator 22. We don't have to wait for a modder to bring that out. Forklifts and other small vehicles will fit through most of the doors. Okay, now let's talk about the field shapes and sizes. I know a lot of people either like, you know, square fields, some people like rounded fields, some people like, you know, different kind of shaped fields. I'm more of not the square ones. But anyways, they said this about it. The fields may seem small at the beginning of your career, which that's how it should be. But remember, in the beginning, you won't have much money. And the bigger the field, the higher the cost. In total, there are 81 predefined fields on Elm Creek, more than we've had before, but we still have larger fields typical for the region. And as always, you have the ability to merge or create fields at your own discretion. Use a plow and create fields enabled, and use your imagination to create your own unique landscape in Elm Creek. The one thing they haven't actually said is if these maps are any bigger, or if they're just regular 2x map, which I believe they are, or if 4x maps can come to console either. But anyways, they said if you look at the map, you'll notice many various field shapes exist. Some have rounded off edges, some are shaped completely different. This is also provide more authentic alignment with infrastructure and a believable embedding. That also means you'll have to be more efficient and do some additional things. You'll have to cut trees, combine fields, and adjust the field shape so that the helpers are of good help to you. You determine the best way for your farm to be efficient. So I'm hoping that these fields go more along with the landscape. Also, how does multiplayer work on this map? Well, anyways, they had this to say, if you explore the map and go to its corners, you'll see farms that you use in multiplayer mode. They have the same layout concept as the starter farm, with small fields in proximity. The surrounding fields make them an ideal starting area with opportunities to expand later. You can of course build your own farms however you wish in any land that you own on the map. They did show a few of these farms off. They look really good. I also did notice that they were like different color buildings. So we actually don't know how multiplayer is going to work, if anything is going to be changing. They did say that there is a feature for multiplayer that they have not said. So what could that be? Also, how the production works. I believe how they said it was basically like, say like I make flour or whatever, and I don't own the like the bakery or whatever. If I bring my flour to that bakery, that means the person that owns it, that's going to be their flour now. So I'm hoping there's going to be like kind of like an exchange with like money and all that stuff for all the farms. So like say like my friend needs, you know, flour for the bakery or whatever, they could pay for me to make the flour and bring it over to them. And speaking of that, let's talk about production. So starting productions, let's take a look at the grain mill. The grain mill isn't just a place to sell your wheat now, it's a production plant and a placeable that processes your grain. So yes, you could be able to place these on your map. Either visit a mill that's already placed on the map or build one yourself on a piece of land that you own. Instead of just selling your wheat after harvesting, you can also transport it to the mill to get some fine flour. Deliver that to the bakery, and then you have the option to produce bread or cake. Most production plants have multiple production chains available with varying inputs and outputs. They're listed as recipes, showing you what's possible and what's required. Kind of like the global companies if you were on PC. This is something pretty big, mainly for console players right here. Also at the production plants, you can also store your ingredients. So basically you have another place, you know, like kind of like a silo. If you want to make something that requires several ingredients, you'll start the production as soon as you got all of them delivered. In the case you want to make some delicious cake, you'll need a whole set of ingredients: flour, eggs, sugar, milk, butter, and strawberries. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 things. So of course, yeah, flour gonna have to get from, you know, your wheat and stuff, eggs from the chicken, sugar from sugar cane probably, milk of course from your cows, butter from your cows, that's another production building right there, and strawberries. Yes, greenhouses are gonna be in Farming Simulator, and they're gonna be completely different than how they are in FS19, kind of like a production. And like they said up on here, let's see, this rather complex production chain requires you to deliver a lot of ingredients when need to be harvested or even produced themselves. First, like butter, you need to produce at the dairy plant by delivering fresh milk. So probably gonna be able to make cheese there too. Maybe you just start with bread instead to get the hang of it. Don't worry, you'll get multiple production chains started simultaneously in no time. The delicious cake will be worth it. So the thing though is about consoles. I'm a little bit confused when they were talking about this. If you guys know more information about this, let me know in the comment section below. But the slot counts, I believe they said that, you know, basically like one pallet's only gonna be like one slot. A couple pallets is gonna be one slot, but I might be wrong on that. And then of course, after the production, you have several options to actually sell it. Either production pallet sells it automatically right away and takes it off your hands, so you don't even have to do productions if you don't want to. Or it generates a pallet you can move yourself to generate more money, of course. In most cases, you have the choice where to sell the goods, the supermarket or the farmer's market, for example. Maybe to get rid of the bottleneck production chains, you can even build multiple mills, dairies, and bakeries at once to make up resources not piling up fast enough. Also, you need to think about storage and seek different ways to make most of your resources. So that is going to be amazing right there. That's big to me. And now on to the last piece of news for today, and this is, of course, the new crops for Farming Simulator 22. Most everybody knows it. It is going to be grapes, olives, and sorghum. The most obvious reason that they actually picked these is because they bring new and exciting machine types into the game and diversify the gameplay experience when it comes to agriculture. And they also said with the grapes and olives, this is also going to be helpful for modders, because the modders want to make different crops that are kind of like these. I'm thinking maybe this might bring coffee to the game. I mean, that would be a big one. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe you guys got a crop that, you know, it's almost similar to that could actually come to the game, since this is now being announced. Okay, but anyways, grapes and olives are also a great addition because they tie into various other gameplay mechanics. Our new production chains, so that's gonna be big right there. And for our new map set in a Mediterranean climate, they're more than fitting. The only thing is we don't know what that map is. I don't know. What do you guys think the map could be? Remember, it's gonna be European. On top of that, since you can place the vines manually, they are also part of new and improved build mode, which we were talking about that earlier. So there are grapes and olives right there, but that is not it. Also sorghum, it's a very popular in the United States, perfect for a Midwest-inspired map, Elm Creek. Since it's highly nutritious crop, it steadily gains more importance around the world in warmer regions, making it a fitting addition to the list of grains in Farming Simulator. So 3 new crops, which you know, a lot of modders are going to be bringing some more crops to that. So also with grapes and olives are special if you look at the machinery used. So it's going to be using completely different kind of machinery. Also the vines that you put down in build mode, they have collisions. So I'm probably going to run in them a lot. So you need to maneuver the machines carefully along the vines. Otherwise you risk damaging the new crops. Be careful. So damaging the new crops. Can you actually like crop destruction on those? Oh, that's going to be bad with me. Because of that, the machines are very small and specialized compared to the usual field work. The new machinery have a working width about 1 to 1.5 working meters. So, you know, those little bitty plows and cultivators that we've been complaining about, they might actually get some use on our farms. Also, you won't be able to drive between the vines with the... you won't be able to drive between the vines with a big tractor. Yeah, you're not going to be using a big bud to go through those. I don't know, but that would be kind of funny to see, right? It also means that you're going to be spending a lot of time working between the vines. But anyways, how does the process of planting and harvesting work? First, you plant the vines. So you guys seen that in the build mode right there. Basically, you create a nicely striped vineyard. You then have to mulch the growing grass between the vines and cultivate it to help the plants grow to their full potential. And also with specialized fertilizing machines, you spray the plants to improve the yield, as you do with other crops. After harvesting with special harvesters, you need to cut back the leaves so that the grapes can grow anew. This is required for grapes only and is not needed for olives. Also, if you're using seasons, make sure you guys take a look at the crop cycles, because you want to plant and harvest at the appropriate times. And then of course the last news on that is what can you do with those harvested grapes? So you guys seen the production chains. So basically grapes and olives and sorghum, you can actually take them to production plants. Grapes can be processed into grape juice or even raisins. You can then deliver them to your production plants like a cereal factory or to the selling point like a supermarket. Olives can be taken to the oil mill to be processed into olive oil. Sorghum as a type of grain can be processed into flour at the grain mill. Okay guys, so that was all the news on FarmCon and everything that happened. I probably missed a few things, but anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Well, I'm just gonna say it. I'm very excited about FS22. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Are you guys excited? You guys worried? I mean, there is a few things to worry about, like, you know, the 3-day seasons, but I think that is about it. Okay, now today's schedule after this video at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time will be tonight's live stream, so hopefully you guys do join us on that. Remember, if you guys did like the video, make sure you guys do pound that like button. If you guys haven't subbed, make sure you guys do, and like always, have an amazing day, farmers. Peace!
about the city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow.